Welcome to the Mike Peluso Outdoors here on urlradio.net. The more hits we play, the more hits we get. Today is kind of an interesting day. I'm out guiding right now on Lake Sakakawea. I had a group on here this morning. We took off from the Hazen Bay recreational area up out of the beautiful Lake Sakakawea midsection of the lake. Took a group of people that don't get to fish a whole lot, and we went out and we milled around a little bit this morning, and we were able to get their limit of 15 beautiful walleyes by about 10:30, 11 o'clock here this morning. Just a wonderful, wonderful day on the water. A husband and a wife and a best friend. And when I reflect back on that trip this morning, I just can't help but wonder how many fish are really in Lake Sakakawea. We probably handled well over 50 walleyes during that trip this morning, and as I sit here right now, I'm basically waiting. I've got another group to go out for an afternoon guide trip here at 4 o'clock, and that'll kind of entail my second half of the show. But getting back to Lake Sakakawea, right now, the Game and Fish are telling us that it is the second largest walleye population the lake has ever seen in its history, and it's one of the top, right now, the top producers of smelt. So it's the biggest smelt population, the main forage that these walleyes have ever had in this lake. So you've got two pretty key ingredients going on, and it makes you wonder, with all this food in this lake and this many walleyes in this lake, how many are actually here? I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. We kind of randomly picked a point on the North Shore this morning, moved around a little bit. We stumbled on some fish fairly quick. We were able to, again, probably boat between 50 and 60 walleyes in just a few short hours out there. The lure of choice today now was just a bottom bouncer and a plain Lindy hook with a half a crawler on it. Normally we like to roll slow death out there with a half a crawler, but today, this morning, most of our fish and all of our bigger fish came off of just the plain hook, a little glow hook, a white hook, and half a crawler. And when we brought these fish to the fish cleaning table to clean these walleyes up for these folks, it was amazing to me how many of these fish were absolutely stuffed full of smelt, and it really makes you wonder why they would even bother eating half a crawler. I look at that as a couple different reasons. Just like you and I, when we're hungry, we don't necessarily stop at every gas station or restaurant that we pass by to pick up snacks or eat a meal. But boy, when we are really hungry and something's really easy and convenient and it's right there for you, chances are, what do we do with it? We definitely probably pick it up and eat it out of guilt a lot of times. And I think these walleyes on Lake Sakakawea right now are kind of trending to do the same exact thing. I think they're just in a real heavy feeding binge right now. Basically a very aggressive, very active fish, looking for food, traveling for food. It seems like any time you get out in a little deeper water, anywhere from 20 to 40 feet of water, you really have trouble seeing the bottom with your depth finder, to be quite honest with you, because of the amount of bait fish that are down there. So it's really exciting from a guiding standpoint that we've got this type of thing happening. The water levels have remained very, very steady up here this year, which is exciting. I mean, we weren't expecting to have a lot of water, but I think this year, more so than most, we've had a lot of rainfall, a lot of big rains, short periods of time where they're dumping 2, 3, 4 inches at a time. And same holds true right now as I wait for my second group to show up to take them out guiding here. The part 2 of this show, we're waiting out a couple storms. There's one to my north rolling on the lake, and there's one to my south, kind of halfway splitting the lake right now as we speak. And then I talked to a buddy that was up in the partial area, and he said it's raining there. So again, I think the lake's seeing a lot of natural, rainfall throughout this course, and it's not so much the runoff like we normally get. So we're looking at it right now. It's not quite August. The water temps are ranging anywhere from 70 to about 75 degrees, depending on where you're at. And that's fairly common, fairly normal for this time of year. And again, these fish are just on an absolute feeding tear. If you haven't been up on Lake Sakakawea quite yet this season, you might want to consider getting yourself up here. Both shore fishermen and boat seem to do really well right now. And again, here I am staying up at the Hazen Bay camping area. They've got some beautiful little cabins, and as I look out across the lake, and I'm going to take a picture, and we'll put this on our podcast, but it's just absolutely breathtaking. I just, you can sit here, look out over Lake Sakakawea, and think about what this terrain looked like before they decided to fill it up with water, and how it looks today compared to what must have looked like 50, 60 years ago. Just remarkable. It's so cool to me to look at what man created here, and it's just impressive. And the thing, the lake, I call it the thing sometimes because it's got a mind of its own. The wind can be a major factor out here. You got to be careful, certainly if you're coming in from out of state or somewhere else to fish Lake Sakakawea. It's a massive body of water. It's a big reservoir, but you can pretty much eliminate 80% of it. You take away the middle of that reservoir. You really don't have to concentrate on it too much. Obviously, with 100+ foot of water through the main river channel out there, the walleyes don't concentrate so much out in that sector. So you pull into the shores, the bays, the points, and you can really break the system down in a quick hurry. And one thing I will say with Lake Sakakawea, and it's not just Lake Sakakawea, it's pretty much any lake for that matter, is use your electronics. Today's technology is absolutely incredible, and if you use them properly and really trust them and believe them, they'll save you a lot of time, and 99% of the time what you're seeing down there is legit, and it's, you gotta be patient. I drive around, I tell my clients usually right away when I'm cruising around the lake early on during the day, hey, be patient with me, I'm looking for some fish that I feel that will actively feed, and we'll be able to capitalize on them in a quick hurry. And it's not 100% foolproof, but a lot of times you do stumble in on them, and you just got to be patient and trust your instincts and trust your electronics, and put the best possible presentation down there and listen to the fish. They'll kind of tell you what they want. There's no question about that. A lot of times you catch a fish and get it off the hook and throw it in the live well and don't think about it until you pull it out to clean it. But, take a second of time and just analyze why you caught it, where you caught it, how you caught it, and you'll be amazed at how many times that will cue you into something maybe just a little bit different that will really make your day even better. So, again, this has been the Mike Peluso Outdoors. We're going to pause for our sponsors, and we want to thank them again, but we're going to pause for them, and then we're going to come back here on the second part of the show, and we're going to tell you how part 2 of this guiding experience up here on Lake Sakakawea is going. I've got a couple guys coming in this afternoon from Minnesota. They've never been on Lake Sakakawea. This is going to be a whole new experience for them, so I'm looking forward to getting these guys in the boat and seeing the reactions to the walleye fishing here in good old North Dakota and Lake Sakakawea.